Good morning, everybody, from this Thursday morning in Denmark. I hope you had a great day. Today, we're going to look at commodities, gold and silver, copper, and all that good stuff. Where are we? Gold to silver ratio is looking like we want to do something that we haven't seen done in many, many years, even decades. So that's worth to watch. As always, give me a thumbs up, a subscription if you want to. And if you have any comments, leave them in the comments below. And without any further ado, we will go straight into the charting. I think we will stay on the weekly. I will do the uranium recap tomorrow. I know many people are excited for the uranium recaps, but I don't want to overdo them. So I'll do it tomorrow at when the market is closed for the weekend. So we'll have a full weekly candle, which is very important to look at. Okie dokie. Here we have silver. Very nice reversal here. This is the overall pattern that we're looking at. And this trend line coming down here, we got back above. So which is what we also talked about, last time. Getting above this one was very important. And obviously the green one here, we wanted to hold right there. We wanted to have it to hold, and it did for now, of course. The big one is the $26 level, as you know, I've been talking about for a very long time. And this one here, the long-term trend line coming down there, that's the big one. That's the biggie. Until then, it could go either way. I have my bias to the upside. Why? We're going to look at the gold and silver ratio very soon. Also, if you look at from a candlestick perspective, this right here, what we're having here is a major reversal from a candlestick point of view. Big red bar, a doji, whatever you want to call it, and then a massive green bar taking out the red one. So as long as we close above the red body of that candle right here, that's a major reversal from a candlestick point of view. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting above the 26 at some point in time. We maybe need to go into September. We have to go to September before it happens, I think. So yeah, that's silver for you. What are we looking at here? Maybe we should go to daily for gold. There it is, the long-term one. It held all the way. Back test, back test, back test. We now have 3 tests on that trend line. So hopefully we don't get a fourth. We had this. That was very bad drawn by me. There it is, the one going down, and we broke to the upside. And now we have a lot of resistance coming in at around 1935 and just a sub 2000. Obviously, we have the neckline here with the pits. There it is. The good thing actually is that we made the lower low compared to here, then we snapped back up again. So that's quite nice, but still we have some way to go. But as long as we're above the golden here, it's all good. And yeah, let's get some green candles. You can also see this candle right here. Very big reversal here at the long-term support. So we are liking it. Now to the main attraction of the day, I would say, which is the gold to silver ratio. As you know, we want this to go down in order to have gold and silver go up in dollar terms. And this is the big expanding formation that we have been looking at for 2 years, more or less. And let's go to the daily, actually. We discussed this one here, where we would like to see this when it tested that it was a fake out, and indeed it was. Very nice. We didn't take out this high here. So you have some sort of formation right there with a strange neckline. I will add to that, but still. And now we snap all the way down again. And look where we are right now. I posted this yesterday as well. So let's go to the weekly. Look at where we are. Can you see it? We are actually below right now. We are actually below, but remember we were also below here, where I said this is a big point in time. But again, we had a small rally again, and now we are having the same thing again. So getting below 78.5 in my view. There it is. Let's make it very green for you. There it is. If we can have a daily, weekly close, preferred a weekly below that one here, then we have broken the long-term golden trend line, but also the lows of that one here. Right now, silver is having gold is doing fine. So what we hopefully could see is that this is a test of those levels here. Also, when we're looking at it, the BRICS are having a meeting, this week, and we have the Jackson Hole Fed yearly, whatever they are doing there, probably nothing, but still, they will come out with their report on Friday tomorrow. And given where we are in time, I am very, very excited for gold and silver. And gold and silver miners are an absolute steal right now, in my view. So when and if we get the breakdown here and get below this 78.5, 78, then gold and silver will thrive. And yeah, so that's really it. That's really it. I think people underestimate how big this actually is, in my view. We have talked about it many times, when this measured move, I'll just show you. Let's go into some details here. We have the move down, then we have the highs. So you can see here, the 100% measured move is actually down just sub 50. So when this triggers, you will have a move down to 50. And then ultimately you can have a move all the way down to the 2011 lows. For this move, if you go all the way for the wave 3, which would be a big one. So it's quite impressive, actually. I know if you go to the non-log scale, you have the 100% measured move at the 2011 lows. So there are something baked into the cake that we are going down here for this next run here for the next 2 years, if we get that trigger. If we get that trigger. So I'm excited. I think you should be too if you're into gold and silver. This could be, I said it many times, many people have, but this is a big one if this starts to cascade down. Very, very, very big. And we will look at it early next week, depending on, we'll look at it early next week, but this is a big one that you should look at in my view. Okay, the dollar, the good old Dixie. We broke this one to the upside, still in a rising wedge, which is always, more or less always bearish. We had this rail that we looked at last time here, coming up here all the way down, and we just tagged it basically, and then we returned south again quite quickly. If this breaks down, this will all coincide with rates going down, the gold to silver ratio will go down, the dollar will go down if we get this event down here. Oops. So this is the wedge, in my view, that you should be looking for. There it is, and it should break to the downside this week, depending on what happens tomorrow. Long term, the 10-year yield, we were looking at a double top last time, and we have gotten a rejection. Still, we have some support coming here and here. They're just above 4%. That one needs to hold if you want the rates to go up. Obviously, we don't. We want it to go down. If it falls, then we have a long-term trend line coming here, which I think we will visit if that one gives in. Again, this will all coincide, in my view, with what happens tomorrow or the end of this week. So there it is. Oil is on the way to my target, in my view, to around 75, plus minus something. Nothing new new there, actually. We had the head and shoulders got triggered yesterday, and we have a measured move here around just sub 74. So I think we'll go down here for a retest of this long-term trend line, which we talked about when we were here as well. So I think that's what we are doing. Until proven otherwise, that's the play. Again, it would be very healthy to have it and then go higher. Then you have an inverted head and shoulders. Perfect. Look at where we are in Palladium. No one is talking about Palladium, and I mean no one is talking about Palladium. But again, this was the one we draw like some time ago, and we are coming in again to test the upper trend line of that falling wedge right there. And if you can get above, let's see if you can find a good horizontal level where it makes sense to place it. Somewhere around here, I would say, would be we have like this. So if you can get above this 1,300, give or take, just a bit more, and the breakout, Palladium could do something quite nice all the way up to 1,500 or 1,600 at least. So that's Palladium for you. Platinum. I'm just going to remove all these because I've been cleaning up my charts lately and also adding something. I'm trying to do something different, but I will get back to that in some time. The green support broke down a bit here. tag the long-term, long-term golden trend line and bouncing again here. Looking at the candlesticks, you can see it here, big reversal week last week, and now a massive follow through this week. Very good, very important. And why did I say long-term 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 times? Here is why. There it is. So Platinum still has a lot of work to do, but overall we are still in a bull flag, and we held here. Again, we have only made, depending on how you see it, we have 1, 2, 3 lows. You could also argue that we only have 1, 2. It depends, I guess, how you look at it. Okay, that's Platinum for you. Copper is fighting again for its life, but still actually is doing, I wouldn't say all right, but then again, we held the green support with a bit of a fake out to the downside. Now we're actually having quite a good week. Again, can we get above 4? The green, there it is, and the horizontal at 4, then copper is going to at least these highs here. That's my take. It's very sketchy to see what happens, but I guess if we get the rates down, dollar down, gold to silver ratio down, I guess we will see this go to the upside as well. That's just my take on it. Natgas, Natgas. There it is. The bear flag is getting triggered more or less as we speak. We have the horizontal support at, let's call it 2.47. Let's zoom in here. And we could see further downside if it doesn't hold. To my surprise, actually. It's breaking down. And then we will see the lows here at least at around 2 if that happens. So yeah, but I'm not convinced yet, I will say. We're heading into the winter months here in Europe. So let's see. Again here, this is the European gas, the Dutch. We have broken out here. You can see it right there. And now we're fighting with this resistance here at around 40, 44, depending on how you want to play it. We can actually put in a 44 line right here. So we have the zone to say. Yesterday was where we were down 15%, but on very low volume. So I wouldn't take that much into consideration. Still, we need to break the 44 range. If not, we can go all the way down here. That would also be coincide with the nat gas in, yeah, right here, the move down here. So perfectly fine. Okay, we are talking pretty random here. Very, very big weekly candle for URNM. That's all I have to say. This is massive. And as long as we hold, you know, the 36 and the golden trend line here, it is go time. It really is. I also want to show you something. I don't know if you are interested in it, but I'll do it anyway. If we do like this, I looked at this yesterday, and then we add it all the way out. I don't know if I can do it again. Oh, never mind. But anyway, this trend line here should actually be a parallel to over here. There it is. Perfect. I know you can't see that from the beginning because you don't know where it is, but the fact that we have this upsloping trend line here, and it was parallel to here, is actually very important to see. Again, I didn't notice it until yesterday, so take it as you may. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Again, what's happening here with XLE? Nothing much. Still doing what we have been looking at for some period of time. We're in this bad boy right here. There it is. And then we have some internals here. Preferable, we want to stay above the blue one here, but again, it's an internal one. It doesn't really matter what happens. We are looking at what happens in this triangle right there for XLE. So depending on if oil goes down a bit, then we could see a bounce like that, or if oil for some reason negates the neckline, then we pop right up again. So don't do anything until we see what happens here in that triangle right there. OIH still same thing, sitting on top of the zone right here. Nothing more to add. We're still above this one right there. It's all bullish. I think it's just waiting here. But yeah, let's see what happens. You could argue that we have some sort of squeeze, you know, like this. So we have a squeeze right there, which is a bearish view. But still, let's see. For now, it hasn't done anything for the past 3 weeks, which is fine after getting above these two. That zone here, in my view, totally fine to have a rest after like 25% move. XOP, look where we are, how amazing. Trend line is working so beautifully. We had the break here, the retest, which we covered, and I said we were going all the way up here. We did, and now we are having a rejection at that point in time. And we are probably going to get something like this. If the squeeze were to go to the upside, we have 1, 2, 3, and then on the fourth, we will probably go perfectly. And again, long-term view, boom, there it is. Inverted head and shoulders on the, it's a 10-year long chart, so beautiful. 10 needs to get its, I can't say that word, together. Otherwise, we will break down of this 55 level. We got 2% yesterday. So it needs to hold here, and it will probably do a retest of that one, which we looked at, and then we will see what happens. But this is not this is not good at all. Tan solar has tons of stuff to do before you can go bullish on tan. Getting this undone takes long time or very, very, very strong momentum. So let's see. 55 is a deal breaker right here. Lithium, still overall very bullish, long-term bull flag. I bought it here, got stopped out. It was a fake out, and now we could probably see that we are going all the way down here, which would make sense. 3 lower lows in the flag, perfect. And then I think that will be the low, and then we go. That's how I see it. That is how I see it. XLF banking, still looking very bad at all. Indeed, in a bear flag here again. It hasn't triggered yet, so it's still a bear flag, but it hasn't triggered. If it goes up like this and takes out that trend line, obviously that's very, very bullish. But for now, we're in a bear flag. The bias is to the downside, just like it were here. You can see it once we tripped. There it is. And again, the big one is 30. Why? It goes back to the 2007 global financial crisis where the banks got beaten to death. So that's that. Okay, this is a funny one. This is a funny one. Nvidia. Why can't I see after hours? But why isn't that on? Isn't just me problem? No, anyways. Still, we had earnings after hours yesterday, and we went all the way up to 505, somewhere around here for a 10% pop. To me, it's amazed me that it could undo all the negatives that it had, but it is what it is. The charts will never lie to you. So currently we should open, I think, at around here again for a gap right there, somewhere around here. I think that's how I see it. So yeah, then we have 2 big gaps up. Again, to me, this is a major, blow off top move. I wouldn't call it, but max greed move up here. And again, it can go on for a very long time, but we have a company here that is $1.3 trillion in market cap. That's insane. And it has a PE of 240. That's insane still. But still, it can go on way longer than you would expect. But again, ultimately, these gaps will get closed. That's my opinion on it. Just like we saw on Tesla like 1.5 years ago when it had some major good earnings and then it popped, then it dropped from there. I think it would happen again. The ultimate target, if you were to go all the way out for Nvidia, is actually the upper rail here, and that would be at around 600-700. As if that's insane, but it is what it is up here at someone if that were to happen. Okay, Brazil is getting some good bouncing here. Let's go to the regular because that makes more sense. And actually, we are popping back above the 32 very soon. But again, once we take out these highs here, that's my trigger for buying. There it is. That is where I'll go long. It's an 8% dividend ETF, 9%. So looks good. Long term, looks good. Breaking out here of that falling wedge. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The GDX, difficult to chart. I know, I said that many times. But if we were to look at it, I'm going to use the RSI, which I don't do often. But you have the low, lower low, and the lower low. But the RSI is heading upwards, indicating momentum to the downside is backing off, and we could have a reversal, or at least some sideways action. Again, if gold and silver does what I think it will in the very, very, very near future, this one will pop like maniac. You know, the gold miners will pop like nothing we have seen before. Similar again here to the SILJ. Long-term support, now resistance, and then we have an upper rail up there. You have the targets or the tags there. Now we are popping back down again here. So if gold and silver, as mentioned, does what I think it will, then this will be a false breakdown and we will have a massive run in the silver miners as well. So very, very fun moment in time. You can see we have the same divergence. We have it there, low, low, lower, low, higher RSI. There's a lot of things talking in favor of gold and silver right now to really start moving. But again, we have to wait and see what happens tomorrow with the Jackson Hole, this whole BRICS thing, what will happen to especially the gold to silver ratio. That's what I'm looking at to get my confirmation. Getting below that 78, 78.5. That's when it all happens. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Long video, I'm sorry. I'm rambling. I hope you have a great day. Give me that thumbs up and that subscription if you like what I do. If not, it's always fine. Have a great day and see you on to the next one. Uranium tomorrow. Don't miss it.